Now when it comes to city building, few do it better than Rockstar. They don't just build cities, they create worlds. Every street, every storefront, every NPC in Grand Theft Auto feels intentional. It's immersive, detailed, and deeply inspiring. As Cities Skylines players, we can learn a lot from GTA when building cities. How Rockstar managed to capture the essence of Los Angeles in GTA 5 through a much more scaled down version of a city. Each neighbourhood feels unique, and there's lots of points of interest to explore. The detail and customization they put into everything, from the unique businesses and characters which inhabit the world, to the tiniest little details and Easter eggs. And it's their level of detail and storytelling that inspires me. That's what I want the most from Cities Skylines 2, and for my content, to build cities which are full of life and character. And these core themes of detail, customization and storytelling, so prevalent in GTA games, is what I hope to achieve with my recreation to really do justice to a GTA build. So alongside this build-focused episode, I've also released an animated story, a GTA-style mission filmed within Cities Skylines 2. If you enjoy the episode, please like and comment on the video, and consider supporting me on Patreon. So like I said before, ever since episode 1, there has been so many GTA comments. So today, it's finally time to go full Grand Theft Auto, and if I'm doing GTA, then we're doing it one-to-one. And I'm going to try and make it as accurate as possible, from the street layout and buildings to some of the smallest details. How close can we actually get to Grand Theft Auto 5 in Cities Skylines 2? So let me know which game you think looks better in the comments below, and I will show some comparison shots at the end of the video. So I'll be recreating the iconic Grove Street and the surrounding neighbourhood called Davis, which is in South Los Santos. Of course, for this build I don't have Google Earth to assist me, and you can see I've got a mood board here as reference. So here's the city following the previous episode where I built the LA River and a low-income neighbourhood. There was a lot of cool builds in this episode, and I kind of want to continue the trend, but with a bit of a twist this time with the GTA theme. And I think it would also be nice to fill in this gap to connect the builds from the last episode with the rest of the city, help it feel a bit more complete. So once I've cleared out what was here originally, I get started on the road networks. And I'm basing this, of course, directly from the GTA map. I do tweak the layout a little bit later once I plot down some buildings, as I start to get more of a feel for the space we will need. So unlike the previous episode where I only used the southwest low density homes, this time we're going to mix them up and include some vanilla homes too. So I have a few here which I'll choose from. So looking at pictures of Grove Street from GTA 5, there are a variety of different styles of homes, different roof colours. These ones have flat roofs, for example, so we are going to need to add in a whole bunch of different variety. With each house I'm plopping down, I'm keeping a close eye on my reference images, make sure I'm getting the house style as close as possible. So let's get down most of the houses around Grove Street, and I'm matching the roof and wall colours as they go. And once the homes are in, just like in the previous episode, I'm going to remove all of the sub-elements and build everything up custom instead. For the sidewalks, I'm also adding in some slightly edited versions of Crypto Gamer's net lanes and decals. This style is a closer match to the sidewalks used on Grove Street in GTA. Now in the previous episode, I created a fairly similar cul-de-sac and low-density neighbourhood using Road Builder, but that did give a bit of a weird glitchy effect to the shallows. Instead, I'm going to do things slightly different here now I've had a bit more time to think about the process. So a few weeks ago, I actually dropped some new decals, surfaces and net lanes on PDX Mods, my vanilla terrain texture pack. These are so useful in so many situations. For example, say you have a large area of concrete and you just want to add in a small grassy patch for a tree. You could just plop one on top and job done. Before these decals existed, it would have been so much more trickier and time consuming to do something like this. But for Grove Street, I'm going to use the net lanes and decals and draw them directly on top of the sidewalks. This will create the grassy border between the road and the sidewalk. This of course means I don't need to use the thin Road Builder networks which I used in the previous episodes, and I won't get that weird glitchy effect. Now Grove Street also has a lot of garages for each of the homes, but we don't have garage assets in CS2. I'm just going to have to create them myself, and I'm going to use the UK Garden Homes and Sheds. I can place two of them back to back to create the main structure, and with a quick recolor too, they're very close. But we still need garage doors, so I did end up editing another of CryptoGamer's garage door decals, changing it to a more suitable size for these garages. Now I saw a palm tree on a screenshot from a house on Grove Street, and it's quite different to the palms we have in game. So I did have a little experiment, and I kind of fused two palm trees together in one to match up to this kind of style. I used the dead tree model and sunk that into the ground, and then I placed the young adult tree on top. And look, it's not perfect, but it kind of works. I kind of like it. So let's continue on building out a few of these homes around the cul-de-sac. And this is quite similar techniques to what you've seen. So I'll leave you now for a little time lapse as we get these homes all built out.
I'd just rather be alone in my zone writing poems. When I get in, I take a shower, read a book and feel empowered. Smoking on that sour got me counting down the hours, thinking of all the shit that they could do but won't allow us. Then I realized they all some cowards. The world is ours. Me and my brother twin like the towers, and we want it now, never later. No more favors done with all these traitors who be haters on the low. They just hate to see you grow, so I'd rather be alone in my zone writing poems, cause I'm never on the road, and I'd rather stay at home. And life been moving fast lately, trying to get a grasp, and every day I'm mad lately. Never let it drive me crazy, you do this for my old lady, yeah.
They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
CX, you change, but a bunch of people feel us. Reaching for the top, and now I ain't got no sellers. Pour me up a cup or two so it can stop the bleeding. Roll me up a spliff or two, and now I'm hella weeded, cause I'm feeling like I want it, but I don't know if I need it. Took a few L's, but that undefeated. Same shit, different day, why this so repeated? If we don't talk no more, it's probably cause I felt mistreated. Bad enough I don't hear excuses, trust me, you could keep it. Saw it coming from a mile away once I peeped it. Caught up in that drama, mama, I don't get between it. They be trying to turn it on you, damn they really tweaking.
We broke, but we wealthy in ability and hopes fits. No, we only need the brokerage. We only overage, overseeing all the dope. Killing these cats with they facilities. Flush down the drain, leaning through all 8 lives till that become they centerpiece. Unfold and be a masterpiece at half of all our faculties. We actually dope, you just don't know that half of we. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips and thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips and thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
Okay, so Grove is getting there now, at least around the cul-de-sac, and it's looking a pretty close match to the original. So I'm really loving how it's all coming together. I'm also going to add in electricity cables. As I've mentioned before, these are such a small detail, often overlooked by the majority of players. They really do add so much realism to any build. So I'm still paying close attention to the reference images I have, right down to the placement of the trees, to the style of the pavement, really keeping things as accurate as possible. So even with this junction here, you can see the original has a slightly lighter shade of concrete on the junction. Let's match that up too. And of course, I'm going to add a whole bunch of decals, stains, cracks and damage to the road. And just like in the last episode, these really add a lot of detail to your roads, and it really is worth the extra time and effort to add these all in. Now, I did play the old GTA games back in the day, so casting my mind back and also from more recent research into GTA, I remember that Grove Street has been featured in more than one GTA game, both San Andreas and GTA 5. Now, when I started this build, and this is the GTA 5 version I'm building, I didn't actually realise that in GTA 5 the Ballers had actually taken over Grove Street. But I think for me, for this build, we've got to keep the Grove Street gang in control of Grove Street. So let's turn a bunch of the car colours to green, and I can also add in some ploppable citizens wearing green coloured clothes. Also, perhaps there's a street party happening and people are chilling out, dancing and having a few drinks. Okay, so for the final part of Grove Street, I'm just going to quickly time-lapse us through the rest. I won't show everything as it's mostly the same kind of stuff now, with building the remaining homes and all of the prop work and detailing they need. And I'll return shortly to chat us through the next, more unique aspects of the build.
Hands held high, raise them up to the sky, never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky, never let them low. Go, go. I got about 100 reasons to leave the party, but I will not. Got a lot of meaning to get to you when I'm in a spot. Thought about what's the season, oh yeah, it's summer, feeling so hot. I could burn in my slumber, turn the lights off and let the beat drop. I'm the meanest rapper, meaning I feed on rappers a lot. I'm obscene, I need not encouragement, this the courage I got. Got a buzz going, so people heard of me, then I pop. Kinda was going, how you gonna tell me I gotta stop? Start another trend, and if you wanna get in on the ground floor, then what you holding up the wall, standing around for? Call up my people and I know what they down for. We can stay up all night long, land home around 4. I'm on the land from my daytime lifestyle. We be going ham like cheese and a slice style. There's something about the nighttime like to feel nice out. So if you're still at home, I'm right outside the door like knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Yeah. First name name, put your last hands in the air. Yeah, yeah. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? First name, put your hands in the air. Yeah. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low. Go, go, go. I'm independent, I write them into my pen. If you want to party tonight, put them in the air like a pennant. I blow with the breeze, flow with the ease, and eat all my spinach. I'm cold, I'm low in degrees, I could freeze a fiend in a minute. Demeaning rappers to me is too easy, need a new image. So many biters around, I should quit and become a dentist. Anyways, if you're feeling tight from your 9 to 5 and want to cut loose and take a kind of ride, I'll be happy to accommodate, come on inside and put your hands where I can see them, that's my kind of vibe. I want a crib with a pool, a garden, and promenade. I'd rather work more instead of trying to economize. I want a car with no roof on, my kind of ride. So even when I'm on the highway and I'm trying to drive, and this song come on the radio, it's kind of live. Everybody in the whip got room to hold them high. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky, never let them low. Only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low. Only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low. Only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky. Never let them low. Go, go.
So that's most of Grove Street finished up now. We've just got a small area at the top of the street left. Now looking back at our reference images, you can see there's a big building on the river side of the street. This is an auto shop in GTA. Of course, auto shops have been in pretty much every single GTA game now. It's all a very classic part of GTA gameplay. So for the auto shop, I found this building in StarQ's Statik ploppables, but the style is absolutely perfect. So I can place two of them back to back, and it covers up that really gaping hole on the side of the building. But this building off to the side, it's a little awkward, so I am just going to need to rejig the roads, see if I can make it all fit. The small building still has a hole on one side, but there are some extra garages. It's an extension which comes with a taxi depot, which should work pretty well for hiding that hole. I'll also place them at the back of the larger building for the auto shop. Now I have created a whole bunch of decals for the auto shop, and these are based off a reference image, but that is actually a different auto shop in GTA which I found to pick for. Actually, instead, I'm just going to apply them to this other auto shop I'm building. And I think they look really cool. And they really add a lot to the building, help it feel a lot more unique. Now this next addition is pretty cool, and it's a technique I learned from Dome. I'm going to use the clipping surface, and I'm just going to create a hole in the terrain. You can see right down into the void. It's a pretty clever way to create these. Didn't even know what you'd call it, but it's like a way for mechanics to get underneath the car. So I'm going to use a few containers for the floor and the sides, and we can create this like lowered area. And then I'll just create a platform with a car on top. So it's like the car gets raised up and mechanics can be inside the hole and work underneath the car. It's pretty cool. It's a clever little discovery by Dome. And I had to attempt this for myself as part of the auto shop. But that's not the only cool thing Dome's figured out recently. He also somehow, it still amazes me, but somehow we managed to create a tyre prop, which, believe it or not, It's actually a car mesh. It's just the main body of the car has been shrunk so small that you can't actually see it, leaving only the tyre at full size. And honestly, it's just madness that he managed to figure this out, but surprisingly they work pretty well. So I'll just get the rest of the yard complete now with all of the props and decal work. The whole auto shop came out super cool in the end and is such a great addition to the city. Across the road, I'm going to add in a gas station in the same location as the GTA one. I'm going to use one of the Southwest commercial units. It's not a gas station, kind of looks like one. By removing a few of the car parking spaces, I can fuse a gas station asset into this one. I've also created some decals just for this. So some of you may remember the 24/7 shop in GTA. You can find many of these stores throughout Los Santos. So I'm going to turn this station into a 24/7 shop also, give it a green colour scheme and a bunch of decals for the logo and signage. And that makes such a difference, really brings the asset to life. So something I realised in the last episode is how much I enjoy adding this kind of customization to buildings. It really makes them feel so much more unique, and this really takes on the spirit of what they try and do in GTA. So just an FYI, these GTA specific decals, they won't be on PDX Mods, but I have instead released 2 packs for you all, which are available right now on PDX Mods. So this first pack is a shop signage decal pack, a collection of various small, commonly found stickers and signs which you can place on shop windows, walls, places like that. Definitely ones for those who like the macro detailing and customization, but like I said before, it's the smallest details which can really make the biggest difference to detailing. So if you'd like to check them out, you can do so now on PDX Mods. So the 24/7 shop looks pretty cool with all the branding and shop signs. I'll also add the branding to these larger gas station signs out the front. Moving on, next to the gas station will be the Mega Mall. And again, I'm going to recreate this as accurately as possible to Grand Theft Auto 5. This was actually quite tricky to put together. I swear I spent way too long trying to figure out the right building, the right combination to use. So the bottom is quite simple. That's just some static ploppables, which I've all combined into one. But as of course they are non-functional, I do add in a few commercial units which are hidden inside, but with just the doorways showing. I also find these subway station entrances, which will make pretty nice entrances for the shopping mall. And again, it's very similar to how they have them in GTA. Thanks to a conversation I had with Jay, started looking more at props rather than buildings for the exterior. I actually found the perfect solution, which is a bunch of these industrial fences. We have stacked them on top of each other just to make it a bit more simple to use. And I can then use these and just create the walls myself. And after a quick recolour, I think that's a pretty damn good match, which just leaves the roof. And so I'm going to use the school extension wing for this, and I could just position this on the inside. It turns out it's pretty much a perfect fit. And how cool did that come out? I really love doing this kind of stuff, creating something totally custom. And of course, I also did all the necessary decals to match it to the mall in GTA. Cool, so most of the building is in now, most things that I need to explain, at least. And all that's left now is to detail it all up. So something I loved about the last episode was using Kool-Aid's decals for the shop signs. How I made each shop feel totally custom and unique, and suitable shops for the area. But I need more. So this is my second pack I've released today on PDX Mods, the Small Shops Decal Pack. These are a collection of various shop signs, like barbershop, locksmiths, pharmacies, electrical shops. So in GTA, there's a jewelers here. They've called it Discount Jewelers. Mine's called Discount Diamonds. A few small changes just to make it feel more unique. Around the back, I'm also going to add in this Grove Street graffiti. This is taken directly from the game. That's a nice little addition to the neighbourhood. This next shop, which I'll do at the end of the street, again, I'm going for quite a close match to the original. So this is cabinets and carpets. But it's got a pretty unique look and some pretty cool lettering on the building. So there's two commercial assets from the Southwest pack, which I could fuse together to create this two-coloured effect, cream on the top and white on the bottom. Again, prior to this, I must have easily spent an hour just trying to find the right assets I could use here. I also created a bunch of decals, replicas of the original, and these came out super cool. It's amazing how just a few decals can just make it feel so much more unique in a matter of seconds. So next up, I'm going to add in the locksmiths, once again keeping very similar to the original. It too has a lot of unique lettering and illustrations of keys and locks all over it. I don't know why, but I really just didn't like the white roof of the Japanese building I chose. So I ended up using some of these garden shed props, and then I can just add in all of the decals. And it's pretty much good to go, and it looks super cool. So these next few are going to be a bit more generic, so I'll just get in all of the buildings. On the ends will be the salon, right where a similar salon is in the game. It has a fairly similar look about it. It's a bit messy, but I do want to hide this art shop sign. I'm also going to paint the side wall white. I have plopped this asset elsewhere in the city, and this is a salon, not an art store, but I do need to mix it up a little bit. The next two are the pharmacy and laundromat. I'm also going to continue the same style of pavement I used on Grove Street, this cracked pavement type of look. Now at first, I really wasn't too keen on this surface, and I debated changing it so many times. But later on you'll see I actually combine this with some stained decals, and I think that just really completes the look and it makes it feel a lot more natural. To back up the street towards the mall, I'm just filling in this final gap on the side of the mall. So this street is called Carson Avenue. Technically, it does have a tram going down it in GTA. Now again, I did debate this for quite a while. Should I include the tram or should I just leave it out completely? But ultimately, I did decide to include it if we are going to be recreating GTA. So I'm just sprucing up the station a little bit, make the platform feel a bit more like the one in GTA, with this covered area and some seating and trash bins and stuff like that. I can cross the road now and start to do the shops down the other side of the street. And again, I'll be customizing all of these. The Southwest Pack's taco bar is a good fit here. And I'll turn the other two shops into a sex shop and massage parlour, very similar to how it is in GTA, and a discount shop. And I think these again are very suitable shops for the area. So adding so many of my new small stickers and signs to the windows, along with some of Kool-Aid's ones, it really makes such a difference for making these shops feel unique, and it really takes no time at all. On the end here is a pawnbrokers made from one of the Japanese commercial units, and a few decals. I really like the introduction of these trash bins out on the street. This is inspiration I saw on GTA. Thought they would be a great addition to the scene. They make the pavements feel a bit more alive. So we get closer now to finishing off the main part of the build, completing this street at Carson Avenue. So again, let's reference GTA, and on the corner here is a car wash, which is part of the gas station. I think it looks pretty cool. I really like the green wall, the big lettering, so I'm going to recreate that. And that came out pretty awesome. I think the gazebos and the lettering on the wall really helped selling the concept of a car wash and tie it into the GTA vision. The last build I want to mention specifically is the iconic Ammunation. Now, it wouldn't be a GTA build without it. This is a common store found in I think every single GTA game. I'm using just a small industrial building for this. It's fairly close to the picture I found. It's all pretty simple stuff, just adding in a few decals and a bit of detail and a car park to the area. Okay, so to finish up today's episode, we're back with a live play and a showcase of today's build. I'm also going to show you some comparison pics, so we can really see how close I got to Grand Theft Auto. And we'll start off with Grove Street, which I think came out pretty cool in the end. It is similar to the one we built in the last episode, but with a few improvements, and of course, I have used a few more vanilla homes this time. And as this is Grove Street, we have a bunch of green cars and the street party, which was featured in the animated story I did, and just changing the colour really adds a lot of personality to the street. And it's so accurate too. I really spent so much time trying to match house styles to those used in GTA. The homes, the roof colours, the garages, the style of the pavement, the fencing, and even the placement of the trees and electricity cables really is a very close match. So let's have a look at a few comparison pics. Well, it's pretty close, isn't it? Really happy with how it all came out. And I think spending that extra time just to get it as accurate as possible really was worth the effort. So let's head up Grove Street and we'll check out the auto shop. And I love this build too. I also like that we've added an auto shop to the city. It's something we didn't have up until now. And this cool trick I learned from Dome really was a really nice little build. Created these lowered areas for the mechanics. And of course Dome's tyre prop, which was very useful for this type of build. And all the custom decals, which like I said were from a different auto shop, so it's not quite an exact replica. But let's just check out a quick comparison shot. And I think we did get it reasonably close, and I think it looks pretty damn cool. So across the road is our gas station. Again, this one is a little different too, and I styled it as a 24/7 shop. And I love the introduction of my new asset pack, the small signs decal pack. I think these add a lot of character, Just like the previous one, this one isn't quite an exact comparison, but just to show you some 24/7 shops, I think it really does feel part of the brand and the decals are pretty much spot on. So I didn't actually show this during the build, but I also turned the Leisure Venues brewery into the Sprunk brewery. So this is another iconic brand featured in GTA. We also have the Ammunation next to it. So this is another iconic brand from GTA which I had to include. Although it was a very simple build in itself, the custom decals really doing all of the work. But here's a quick comparison shot. It's slightly different, but I think it looks just as good. So next up we have the Mega Mall, and this is honestly about as close as it gets, I think. The overall structure came out so awesome, especially considering the walls are just industrial fences. We've even got the green canopies like over the entrances, just like the GTA version does. So let's have a quick look at some comparison pics. And I think you'll agree that's pretty good, right? Pretty damn close. The backstage areas of the mall all have detailing, and there's a Grove Street graffiti here around the corner. This is directly taken from GTA 5, which is a nice little touch. There's also the Discount Diamond shop here, same position as it is in GTA, with a loading area on this side of the mall too. We also have the tram station, so this is all connected up now, which is great to see. The station looks very similar again to GTA, and I really like this covered area on the top. Really adds a lot, I think. We've also got the locksmiths, which came out pretty cool, I think. Feels very unique, and is customized with the wall color and the lettering and illustrations. And you can see the comparison here. Pretty damn close. We are of course using a lot of minute decals now with these custom shop signs. You know, it's great to really be able to say like these shops are very specific businesses. This is also where you would find these shops in GTA. And on the end is cabinets and carpets. This is a quite accurate replica of the one in GTA. So let's see the comparison. It's super close. You know, I really think it looks pretty cool. Across the road is the pawn shop. And we have the sex shop, the discount store, and also the Southwest Park taco shop. This is another gas station, this one with the car wash. Now this is slightly different to the GTA version. You can definitely see it's inspired by the original with the lettering and the green wall. And then just a few more of my custom shop signs on this side of the street. So I did also build quite a bit off camera just to fill out the area. Honestly, nothing was especially different or particularly special, but you know, it did just help me complete the build and connect it all to the main city. So that's pretty much it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed this GTA theme, and I think it came out about as close as possible. And you know, it was a really enjoyable build to take inspiration from the masters of city building themselves, Rockstar. So the next episode of LA won't be too far off now. The build is already done and it's looking great, and it's a very unique build. So you can expect that in the next couple of weeks. We're also getting closer now to episode 10, which is a landmark episode, and I have something extremely cool in mind for that. It's something I have had plans since episode 1. So I've already been working on this for the past month. It's really going to be a mega project for the city. So I hope you all enjoyed today's episode, and I'll catch you all again in the next video.